I find that race day shoes don't last that long, especially for Hyrox. Biggest focus I have with my burpee raw jumps is not to step out, so then I don't end up tripping over. Surprise, surprise, we are in our final Hyrox prep for 2024. Maybe. It hasn't been announced yet. There's another Hyrox event happening after Perth that is happening in Australia, and a little birdie told me that it's going to be in Melbourne, so it'll be really interesting to see when that actually gets announced. I think it's going to be December. For that event, I'm going to be doing mixed doubles, just to give myself a little bit of time and just to try something different, just so that I'm still, you know, having fun when I'm competing. This Brisbane race is going to be my final solo race for the season. I'm not doing Perth because I'm doing turf games when Perth's happening, and I already organised that, so I don't want to let my team down and stuff. Some crazy things happened on the weekend. On Sunday, I had my long run, and I was 2Ks into my long run, and I couldn't breathe. My chest got so tight. I was sweating. It was crazy. It was just all a blur, and I had to go to the hospital to get ECG done and some blood work. My arms are not sore anymore, but there was a failed blood test attempt. It was not fun. It was so sore. My other arm was a lot better. So got our bloods done, kind of have more of an idea of what's happening, but I'm okay, which is good. So I can still train. So today's my first training session back since Sunday, and I'm just testing things. Luckily, it's not an intense session. My coach put it together for me. And I mean, this was the original session that I was meant to have before my heart issues that I had on Sunday. So we'll see how we go. We're just going through some station work, and I basically have a 5-minute timer on each station. Explain to you how it's going to work while I'm warming up. Just get my heart rate up very slowly, especially after what happened on Sunday. I don't want to jump into anything quickly, and then see how I progress. But yeah, basically what I'm doing for today's session, I'm running through a little bit of station work. So I'm going to do push, pull, farmer's carry, burpees, and I have a 5-minute timer on each one. So some of my coach's notes is that I have to, within that 5-minute block, have 2.5 minutes of quality work. So I can break that up as I want, which is great. I've got sled pull first. For today's practice, I'm wearing my Puma Deviate Nitro 2s. Actually, no, I think these are Deviate Elites. These are the Deviate Elites. So these are my old running shoes. I don't like to waste, so I like to use shoes that I don't run with anymore or do high speed days or anything like that, and just use them for other things. If you know me, I pretty much have shoes in my wardrobe that have absolutely been obliterated. The tread's gone and everything like that, because I try to get every ounce, every bit of use out of them, even if they just are walking shoes or something like that. And these still have some grip in them, so they kind of simulate my race day shoe without me using my race day shoe. Otherwise, the race day shoe is going to get destroyed before I need it. And I find that race day shoes don't last that long, especially for Hyrox, because you're doing so many different movements. You're not just running, so it breaks down the shoe a lot faster. But it is what it is. These are the 32 kilo kettlebells, which I cannot believe the elite or the pro men have to carry these for the farmer's carry. It's wild. You might have seen it in my Sydney Hyrox prep vlog, but I tend to stack the sled up with kettlebells instead of plates, because plates, they're all the way on the other side of the gym, and you know, you get to save your fingers, and this is just so much faster and more efficient to use kettlebells. So if you do have kettlebells at your gym, highly recommend utilize them for the sled, because then you don't have to take so much time putting the plates on, taking them off, jamming your fingers up. This is just such a good little technique. And it's funny that I realized how to do this because I was just lazy one day and I was like, I don't want to get the plates out. So yeah, amazing how laziness can produce creativity. Don't really know how much the sled weighs, but I always just put on the amount that I need. So I disregard how much the sled actually weighs. So sometimes it ends up being heavier than what I actually need, but it's actually better because then you can practice it under a little bit more fatigue and stress. So you end up getting stronger, because it's important to practice things being heavier, not just practicing it at the same weight as a competition weight. All right, so 3, 6, 92, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. Okay, so I'm putting 120 kilos on the sled to practice my pulls. Ended up getting a new Garmin. This is the Epix Pro 2. I haven't been able to use it heaps since I got it, but today I've set up a workout on it so that I can keep track of where I'm at and how long things are taking. And you can add notes and your voice notes as well, which is crazy. So you can hear yourself talking yourself through the workout. I haven't really experimented with that yet, but I did type out the notes so I know what to do instead of having to look at my phone, because I like to just be disconnected from my phone during training as much as I can, so I can just be focused and get through things a lot faster. So I'm gonna start off with the sled pull and see how we go. Oh, this is heavy, man. I probably put it a little bit too heavy, but that's okay. It kind of feels like when you're in the middle of a race. That's what you want. The only annoying thing is that the rope's not long enough. Like I said, we've got to push it back. Trying not to fatigue myself, so I'm just taking it a bit chill with the pushes because it's the pulls that I'm meant to be pushing with. So far I'm feeling good, which is good. We're only like 2 minutes in anyway. I'm really trying to simulate a race, so I'm trying not to get too close to the rope. Otherwise you're just consistently getting the tension and it makes it easier. I don't know why, I should just take the 2 kettlebells off. Like I said, I'm trying not to overexert on these little pushes because I'm not really meant to be doing this in between the pulls. I've probably got time for one more pull. So we'll see how we go. So when I do the sled pulls, I like to have the sled rope on my side so then I don't end up tripping over. Because if you do it through your legs, which I have done in the past, you end up tripping on the rope and you take so much time. Plus, I think there's a penalty if you go over the box, so be careful, don't trip over the rope. And now I have the rest. All right, we've got sled push next up. I'm just gonna hang on the bar for a little bit because my neck's been feeling a bit stiff this week and it feels like it just needs to be decompressed. So, see how this feels on my spine, on my neck. That feels better. Because I haven't been hanging off a bar a lot in the last week. I haven't been doing any pull-ups or anything like that. And I definitely notice it. So straight after Hyrox, we're back on that pull-up grind again. Might do another set of dead hangs. I really love dead hangs because, I mean, it not only improves your grip strength, but it just feels so good just to let gravity do its thing on the spine. DIY chiro. So I need to load this sled up to 150 something. Sled is loaded to 140, not 152, only because it's gonna feel really bad. So something I did differently in Sydney compared to Melbourne with my sled push, which is why the first lap felt so easy, is that I didn't start super low. So in Melbourne, I was down here and that just made it really hard to push. In Sydney, just naturally, I don't know why I did it, but I ended up starting up here and it made that first lap feel so easy. And then I ended up dying because I just ran through that first lap thinking it felt lighter. Biggest mistake. So I know to trust my coach's words next time and break it up into a couple of sets each lap, even if it feels a bit annoying. Oh, another big thing I have to remember for sled push is to keep my eyes up and not look down. Let all that oxygen in. Ugh, that hurts my shoulders. Like holding it like that. It really gets into my delts, that shoulder girdle. Like it's okay on race day, but it's just so annoying during training. Push it all the way to the end, which means less farmer's carries to pack up the sled. ASMR broke. Biggest focus I have with my burpee raw jumps is not to step out and then step back in because it takes too much time and I just naturally do it. So I just have to remind myself to kick my legs out. Get down, I can spend as much time down here as I want and then come up. As you can hear by my breathing, I felt that. Farmer's carry next, and then cool down. This was a very delightful session. Love it. How to get strong. Buy a Frank Green bottle and put it in your bag. Because that's why Sled can deadlift 180 plus kilos. So the last part of today's session is farmer's carries. Far out. This season's the first time I've done these unbroken, so it's been really cool going into each race knowing that I can do them unbroken. So my biggest goal for next race is just to move a bit faster so I can cut like probably 10-20 seconds off. I see a lot of people crouching, keeping their chest low, looking down when they do farmer's carries during Hyrox, and then they end up stopping. And if you just kept your chest up, let the oxygen in, it makes it so much easier. I feel like the center fit kettlebells at Hyrox are actually a lot easier to grab onto, like the grip's a lot thinner, which is probably why I found it easier this year to do them unbroken, because these ones are a little bit thicker, so you're really relying on your grip strength. I'll probably find somewhere there that doesn't. These need a bit of WD-40. I thought I heard someone getting kidnapped or something. I was like, what is happening? I'm still deciding if I'm gonna compete, but I can definitely go, like, and just, even if I just volunteer or something.